Tasmania is calling, and our cameraman takes us to this rugged southern outpost of Australia, a veritable wonderland of scenic charm, an ever-changing panorama of impressive grandeur and natural beauty. Hobart, chief city of the island, nestles on the foothills of Mount Wellington, businesslike in its activity, yet possessed of that peaceful serenity so desired by the tourist. From the marine suburb of Bellarive, we see old Mount Wellington in the background, rising to a height of over 4,000 feet, defying the ravages of time and the icy blasts of a southern winter. Miles of wharfage provide for even the largest of overseas vessels, and the harbour itself ranks as one of the 5 best in the world, and is said to be spacious enough to shelter the entire British fleet at the one time. It is the summer rendezvous of the Australian squadron. The port of Hobart is situated 12 miles from the broad mouth of the Derwent estuary, great depth being maintained throughout. From January to May, large England-bound ships call to carry away the millions of bushels of highest quality apples. Tasmanian apples are famous the world over, and great care is taken in the grading, inspecting and packing of the precious fruit to ensure its arrival in the old country in top condition. Jam making and fruit preserving is one of the most important of Tasmania's secondary industries, and here is one of the biggest and most up-to-date jam factories in the whole world. It exported no less than 13 million tins last year. The flourishing dairying industry has a valuable adjunct in this large chocolate-making business. These electrically driven, though quaint double-decker trams, common sights in the streets of Hobart, are suggestive of certain provincial cities of England and are in perfect harmony with the many old world settings which we encounter in this delightful city. They are said to have been the first electrically driven vehicles used south of the line, but despite their old-fashioned design, perform in an efficient manner. The Spring Hotel on the elevated slopes of Mount Wellington is an ideal holiday resort. The Derwent River, in its upper reaches beyond Hobart, is navigable for 21 miles, an entrancing waterway of matchless beauty, winding between thickly wooded mountain ranges. Perpendicular banks seem to rise sheer from the water's edge. And New Norfolk comes into view. The sheltered, fertile valley is admirably suited to the growing of apples, hops, raspberry and other fruits. Large quantities of these commodities are carried by trains and river boats to the Hobart markets. The placid waters and the mirror-like surface of the Derwent give glorious reflections, rivaled only by those of Gordon River on the west coast. Situated in the upper Derwent Valley, above New Norfolk, Bushy Park is ideally placed for hop growing, and one is reminded of old England by pleasant vistas of hop fields, hawthorn hedges, and windbreaks. Originally opened up by the Shoebridge brothers, Bushy Park has been developed to its present flourishing state by the cooperative efforts of a hard-working community. In the apple orchards, expert pickers are engaged in gathering the fruit from the trees and are careful not to bruise the delicious fruit which may grace even the table of the royal house. The hop fields provide employment for many hundreds of workers whose deft fingers toil at an amazing rate. It's a great time for the boys and girls as schools close for a whole month in the hop season. Beautiful St. David's Park, wherein the tired city dweller may find relaxation amidst peaceful surroundings. Remodeled on the site of an old cemetery, this enclosure still contains the bodies of some of the pioneers. Dedicated to Governor Sir John Franklin, Franklin serves to perpetuate the memory of one dearly beloved by all Tasmanians. The Lady Franklin Museum, gift of the Governor's Lady, is destined to hold many interesting relics of old Tasmania. Tourist traffic is one of the mainstays of Tasmania and has reached amazing proportions. Over 40,000 visitors per year being handled by the Tourist Bureau, the headquarters of which are noticed in the foreground. The golden sands of Sandy Bay Beach, fringed with typically Australian eucalypts, provide the ideal holiday resort for Hobart's thousands who follow the cult of the sun. Most interesting among the fauna of the island is the Tasmanian devil, a small though decidedly vicious animal, spiteful and cunning. The Tasmanian tiger, easily distinguished by his straight, unjointed tail, is also a dangerous opponent, though, like the devil, is now very rare, being forced out of its natural habitat by the march of civilization. This is the only one in captivity in the world. Compared to Tasmania's native animals, the lion at Beaumaris Zoo is of peaceful mien, apparently satisfied with his comfortable quarters. This fine open zoo has been built on what was once an unsightly quarry from which stone had been taken to build Government House. A medieval touch is encountered in this solidly constructed Government House, home of many of the King's representatives who have played noble parts in the stirring history of Tasmania. It is said to be the finest vice-regal residence in the world. From its well-kept grounds, it is possible to obtain a wide, sweeping outlook, taking in the glorious River Derwent to its mouth. It is regatta day, and this is always a gala time in Hobart. Trained athletes bend at the oars, and cheered on by dense crowds strive to gain that little advantage which spells victory. And partisan spirit runs high as they dash over the finishing line. Like most islanders, Tasmanians are noted boat builders, and as yachtsmen, they are unsurpassed. Cleverly handled by expert sailors, these small craft with their full canvas provide great sport for all. The most spectacular event on the card is that for the larger yachts and coastal trading vessels. It is doubtful if a race such as this could be staged on any other harbour in the world. The gay scenes on the shores, where thousands have gathered, are reminiscent of the old English fair with its side shows and unconfined joy.